dear students, I am Dr. Shikha Pandey, Associate Professor from Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. So today I am going to discuss about the noise pollution, its sources, effects and control of noise pollution. As previously we have discussed about all those pollution, but this one is the last pollution, last topic of this pollution chapter, that is noise pollution. Previously we have discussed about the air pollution, water pollution and soil pollution, and now we are going to discuss about the noise pollution. So let's start the noise pollution with the basic definition of noise. So noise can be defined as the unwanted, unpleasant or disagreeable sound that causes discomfort to all living beings. That is called as noise. So means what? Those unwanted or unpleasant sound that will create some discomfort in a normal human being is called as noise, and it is the most undesirable byproduct of the mechanized lifestyle. Noise is a byproduct of this modern mechanized lifestyle, and all sound come from sound sources, whether it will be a radio, a machine, a human voice, an aeroplane or a musical instrument is called as sound. But every sound is not noise, because noise should be on a high level. Noise we can call noise is like the unwanted, unpleasant or disagreeable sound, or sound or normal sound. We can say that like a person is listening to music, a person is talking to someone, that is called as sound. But that will be not unbearable, and that is not noiseable. That is normal sound that any person can bear that sound. So this is not called as noise. There's a bit some difference between noise and sound. So and sound is the normal things that we are talking, like a human voice, a musical instrument, that is called as sound. And noise, we can define it as like the unwanted, unpleasant or disagreeable sound that causes discomfort for all the living beings. And prevention and control of sound is very important, as noise affects us in hearing and ability to communicate and behavior. So prevention and control of sound noise is very important, because it will affect a normal person communicate and behavior, and sometimes it will causes deafness to a person also. So noise is a very unwanted and unbearable things, where a person cannot bear noise. And all this noise pollution is caused due to this globalization, and this due to this our modern lifestyle, because due to increasing modernization in our lifestyle, the vehicles number is increased, and that will create noise pollution. And the vehicle number, industries is increasing. Sometimes jet plane and aeroplane will also create some very unbearable noise. And sometimes during the worship in the temples, they'll create some noise. So the temple or in a mosque, we can say that some very high volume is coming, that is called as noise. So this is all about the basic definition of noise. Like noise, we can define it as the unwanted, unpleasant or disagreeable sound that causes discomfort in any living beings. Now comes to the next point, that is all about the sources of noise pollution. Like what are the different sources from where we'll get noise. And we can also say that noise is an invisible danger, because nobody can see noise, but it is a very much dangerous for a normal human being, because it will causes deafness. Sometimes it will causes human brain failure also. It will cause some heart attack in some person also. So it is a invisible danger. Now we'll discuss about the sources of noise pollution. So first of all, we'll define the sources. We will segregate the sources on 2 points. First one is the stationary, like a normal source, like a single source. And point source means one source from a mobile source. Mobile source means moving source, like those source that is moving. Stationary means a single source. So first one is the example for stationary source is industrial noise, and noise from any construction work, noise from other sources like vehicle, noise from other sources like household activity sometimes also causes noise. Use of some machines will also causes noise. And now comes to the mobile sources. Mobile sources means those sources that is be mobile, that will be moving. So its example is road traffic, because vehicles is there on traffic and vehicle is causing noise. So this is and next one is the railway traffic. Sometimes railway traffic is also causing noise, and this also comes under the category of mobile sources. And next is air traffic. So all these are the mobile examples of mobile sources, and these are the industrial sources. Industrial noise and noise from construction activity is comes under the category of stationary sources, means that sources is coming from a single place, but mobile sources is the sources that is coming from a moving places. Now comes to the next slide. This is about the sources of noise. So we'll discuss about the basic sources of noise. Like sometimes vehicle produce noise that leads to noise pollution. This one comes under the mobile source. Like vehicle produce sounds that leads to noise pollution. Automobile and industry is also causing air noise pollution. Noise pollution is very common in industrial areas where machines are working for factories, making more noise. So noise pollution is very common in industrial area. Like they are using very high machines that will working for many times, and that will create more noise. And the source of noise are more in urban and industrial area than in rural areas, because rural area no industry is there, no vehicles is there. So that will that no noise pollution is there, because no vehicle, no industry, no modern lifestyle. They have a very basic lifestyle. So because sound, as we have already discussed, that sound is a byproduct of our mechanized lifestyle, because due to mechanization, due to modernization, we are using more instruments, we are using more machines, we are using vehicles, we are using cars. So this will causes noise, and we are sometimes people are watching TV on a very high volume. They are watching a loudspeaker. So all these are the sources of noise pollution. And it sometimes it will be a stationary or mobile source. As we have already discussed, that stationary source includes industries, loudspeaker, mining operation, mining activity, and use of machineries, TV, radio, and grinders. And mobile sources include road traffic, highway noise, railways, and air traffic. So all these are coming under the mobile sources, and these are those sources, that is industry, loudspeaker, mining, and use of machineries. These are coming under the stationary sources. Now comes to the next point. This is about the types of noise, means how which type of noise is there. Noise will categorize noise from where it is coming from. It's the source of origin, from where it is originating. So from where it is originating, it is categorized in three categories. First one is industrial noise, transport noise, and neighborhood noise, or some domestic noise. So industrial noise is noise that is coming from any industry activity. Transport noise is noise that is coming from transport, like vehicular noise. And next one is the noise from neighborhood or sometimes domestic noise, like loudspeaker or TV, like that. Or neighborhood noise, like some noise coming from the outside area when people are shouting. So all these coming under the category of noise pollution. So on the basis of its origination, or its origin, it is divided in three types of noise is there. Industry noise, like industry, transport noise, neighborhood noise, or domestic noise. Now industrial noise is the sound with a very high intensity sound caused from industry machines. That sound that is coming from the industry, they are using very high machines, and very much sound is coming from industry, and that sound is on very high intensity. Next is the source of noise pollution are caused by the machines in various factories, industries, and mills. Noise from mechanical saw and pneumatic drills is unbearable and nuisance to the public, because when noise coming from the industry, like drilling is there, and it will create very high noise that would be unbearable to our public. Like that, Indian Institute of Otorhinolaryngology in Chennai reported that the increasing industrial pollution damaged the hearing ability by at least 20%, because very high noise is damaging the hearing property of a normal human being. It is damaging the hearing capacity of a normal being, because a very high sound is coming, and that would be unbearable for a public or for a common person. And in a steel industry, any worker who close to heavy industrial machines blower are daily exposing to 102 decibel of sound for 8 hours. So these workers are suffering from the occupational pollution. That will comes under the pollution, because that pollution, disorder when a person will get from their occupation, because a person is working under a heavy industry, so they are exposing 8 hours for very high intensity sound like 112 decibel. So they are going to suffer from sometimes from a hearing loss, or they will lose their hearing capacity up to some time. So this is called under the comes under the category of exposure by their occupational hazard. And occupational hazard is a very serious matter of concern in these days, because those laborers, they are working under the industry where too much air pollution is there, where asbestos work is going on. So many worker is going to suffer from asbestosis disease, like some worker is working under the cotton industry, they are getting the disease called silicosis, like that. When a person is working and laborers are working under the steel industry, they are going to expose sound of 112 decibel for 8 hours, and that is they are going to suffer from their occupational hazard disease, and that comes under the category of occupational pollution, because these are their occupation and they are getting polluted, and they are getting exposed, and they are getting many illness due to their occupation. So it is a very serious concern about the noise pollution. Now comes to the next category of noise, that is transport noise. Transport noise mainly consists of traffic noise from road, rail and aircraft, and the number of automobiles on road like motor, scooter, cars, motorcycle, buses, trucks and diesel engine and vehicles, because today's more number of car is there and more number of automobiles is there on the road, like this is like the motor, scooter, cars, motorcycle, buses, trucks. This is the examples of that transport noise. And because they are diesel engine cars, because diesel engine will produce more sound, that is called as transport noise. And noise level in most residential area in metropolitan city are hovering around and borderline due to the more and more number of vehicles on the road, and these vehicles are producing too much pollution, noise pollution, and that will be unbearable for a human being to live in that places. And in the metropolitan cities, many more vehicles are there, and these noise are too much, and that we can call as a transport noise. And heavy automobile traffic creates seemingly unbearable noise pollution. So this heavy automobile traffic sometimes create very unbearable noise pollution. So they are the most important factor. Transport noise is a very important factor in the noise pollution area, because noise pollution will they are the important factor for the noise pollution, because transport will produce more and more noise, and due to this noise, transport will be metropolitan city is very much polluted due to this noise pollution. Now comes to the next type of noise, that is domestic noise. This type of noise includes disturbance from household gadgets and communities. The household gadgets like a TV, VCR, radio, transistor, telephones and loudspeaker. And statistically, ever since the Industrial Revolution, noise in the environment has been doubled by every 10 years. So it has been given in a report, like in every 10 years now noise is going to be doubled in every last 10 years. So this is a very important source of matter of concern, this noise pollution, because in every 10 years noise amount is going to be increased. So that plantation drive there people are doing, so that some plants will absorb noise, and that will reduce the capacity and the intensity of noise for the residential area. But that is not much effective, because in today's days people are using more and more vehicles. Industry, they are using very high machines, and in the domestic household activity we are using very too much machines. So all this causes very high noise pollution, and noise pollution is nothing but a invisible danger, where we cannot see the noise, we can only feel the noise, and noise intensity is very much high for a normal human being, and due to this noise a person can get a permanent deafness also. they any person can lose their hearing capacity permanently. So this noise pollution is very much dangerous for a normal human being. Now comes to the next point. This is about the measurement of noise. So how we can measure the noise is usually measured either by the pressure of the sound and the sound intensity. Basically it is measured in the sound intensity is measured in the unit called as decibel, and it is denoted as a dB, and this is the 10th part of the longest unit, unit named as Bell, and that unit is named after the Alexander Graham Bell. And the ratio decibel is the ratio expressed by the logarithmic scale relative to a reference of sound pressure level. So dB is equal to log 10 is equal to log 10 up, and I upon I naught. This is the basic expression for the measurement of noise. And noise will always measure in the unit called as decibel, dB, and it is named after the scientist who discovered sound, and the scientist name is Alexander Graham Bell. Now we'll discuss about the intensity of noise sound. So whistling, sometimes auditory fatigue will cause in a person when the intensity of noise level will increase more than 90 decibel. And deafness will also create in a person when deafness is condition like permanent hearing loss when the noise level is increased from the 100 more than 100 decibel. So here is the examples of some decibel quality amount, like which a person can be bearable. So breathing will give 10 decibel. 10 decibel breathing, we cannot hear breathing sometimes. Sometimes if a person will breathing fast, then we can listen, but we cannot listen breathing. So its intensity is only 10 decibel. And now tickling clocks is its intensity of noise is 20 to 30 decibel. Next one is a normal conversation in a human being, that is about 35 to 60 decibel. And or more than 60 decibel, like noise, more than 60 decibel, up to 60 decibel, we call it as sound. But more than 60 decibel, it comes under the category of noise. So like 60 to 80 decibel, that will come under the noise, that is like as for example office noise, we can say that normal chit chat or a normal talking in the office, it comes under the intensity of like 60 to 80 decibel. And now next is the traffic noise, that is in between 50 to 90 decibel. This is like this will be also a very dangerous, and this is also coming under the category of noise. 50 to 90 decibel. 90 decibel, like it is more than 80 decibel. 90 decibel is again like that. Next one is a motorcycle. Motorcycle is also producing noise more than 105 decibel. Jet planes or jet fly is also producing noise more than 100 to 110 decibel. So we can see that auditory fatigue condition, like some whistling or buzzing in ears will create due to the when noise level is more than 90 decibel. Due more than 90 decibel, whistling and buzzing in ear will create. Like that, permanent hearing loss will create in human being when the noise level is more than 100 decibel. So from this chart, we can see that traffic noise is also very much nuisance for a normal human being, that cannot be bearable for a normal human being for more than 1 or 2 hours. If a person will going to expose for a normal traffic noise up to 90 decibel for almost 1 or 2 hours, some whistling and buzzing in air will produce in that human being. Like that, noise pollution more than 90 decibel is very much dangerous for a normal human being. Sometimes it will causes permanent hearing loss in a normal human being. So this is all about the intensity of noise sources. Now comes to the effects of noise pollution. Means like this noise pollution, what it will cause in a normal person. So noise pollution affect both humans and animal life. Both it will affect a normal human being and animals also. And it will leads to, it will causes in the contraction of the blood vessels. So more than 90 decibel of sound is very much noise pollution for a human being, and a normal human being cannot afford noise more than 90 decibel. So it leads to contraction of blood vessels. Sometimes it will making the skin pale, and excessive adrenaline in the blood level, that will be responsible for high blood pressure. And blaring sounds are known to causes mental distress also. Sometimes it will causes heart attack, neurological problem, birth defects, and abortion in the ladies. So all these are the health effect due to the noise pollution. So it will affect the contraction of blood vessel. It will make the skin pale. Excessive adrenaline in the bloodstream is responsible for high blood pressure. Blaring sounds are known to causes mental distress, heart attack, neurological problem, birth defects, and abortion also. Next one is the adverse reaction are coupled with a change in hormone contents of blood, which in turn increase heartbeat, constriction of blood vessels, digestive spasm, and dilation of the pupil of the eye. So it is a very dangerous effect of noise pollution, because it will change in the hormonal content of the blood, that will increase the heartbeat, constriction of blood vessel, constriction of blood vessels, constriction, digestive spasm, and dilation of the pupil in the eye. So all these are the effects of noise pollution related with the human health. Now, next one is the effects of noise pollution on the human health. Like sometimes it will causes adverse health effect, work efficiency and behavior. It will affect the work efficiency of normal person and behavior also. Noise pollution may causes damage to the heart, brain, kidney, liver. All major organ related to a human body is dangerous due to this noise pollution. And the most immediate and acute effects of noise is impairment of hearing that diminishes some part of the auditory system. Prolonged exposure to noise of certain frequency pattern leads to chronic damage to the inner ear. Impulsive noise may cause psychological and pathological disorders. Ultrasonic sound affects the digestive, respiratory, cardiovascular system and semicircular canals of the internal ear. Some suggest that blood is thickened by the excessive sounds, excessive noise. Sometimes blood will going to be thickened due to this excessive noise. So this noise, as we have already studied, that this noise is causing too much pollution to a normal human being. It will affect health. It will directly affect health condition of a normal human being. It will damage all major organs belongs to a human being, like heart, brain, kidney, liver, and sometimes it will produce emotional disturbance also. And impairment of hearing that diminishes some part of the auditory system. Prolonged exposure to noise of certain frequency leads to chronic damage in the inner ear, causes psychological and pathological disorder in a human being. So these are all about the effects of noise pollution. Noise pollution is very much dangerous for a human being, and we can say that it is an invisible danger, that like nobody can see the noise, only noise will be very much affecting, and it is causing any person. It is very much dangerous for a human life. And the optical system of human being is also affected by noise pollution. Severe noise pollution, the optical means like the eyes of a normal human being or is sightseeing is also affected due to this noise pollution. Like noise pollution causes population dilation, impairment of night vision, and decrease in rate of color perception. So some other other disorders like neurosis, anxiety, hypertension, increased sweating, giddiness, nausea, fatigue, visual disturbance, reduced depth and quality of sleep, peptic ulcer, increased cholesterol, and resulting in constriction of blood vessel, low weight in children's to mothers. These are all these disorders is only related to the noise pollution. So we can see that very much number of disease or very much number of these disturbance is all due to this noise pollution. This noise pollution is causing the anxiety, neurosis, hypertension in a normal human being, because it was disturbing the psychological properties of also physiological as well as psychological also. It will increase the sweating, giddiness, nausea, fatigue, visual disturbance, reduced depth and quality of sleep. Now comes to the next thing. This is like the intensity of noise, like up to which intensity noise is causing which health hazard. So non-living things like a building undergoes physical damage by breaking of windows, doors and glasses by sudden and explosive sound. So we can say that all this is in the unit of dB, decibel. So we can see that up to 80 decibel annoyance is created in a human being, in a normal person. At 90 decibel hearing damage will cause. 95 decibel is very annoying, and 110 will causes stimulation of reception in the skin. Next is the 120 pain threshold. 130 is nausea and vomiting, and up to 140 pain in the ear, and then 150 burning of skin, then 160 rupture of tympanic membrane, 180 is like permanent damage. So these are all about the health hazard related with the intensity of noise. Up to which intensity the noise is very much dangerous. So up to more than 70 or 80 decibel of noise is causing some health hazard in sometimes in human beings, sometimes in animals also, and we can also see that it will affect the non-living things like buildings that will undergo physical damage by cracks, breaking of windows, doors and glasses, by sudden and explosive sounds. When a very high explosive sound is coming, non-living things like building undergo physical damage by cracks and breaking of windows, doors and glasses. So non-living things is also affecting due to this noise pollution. And noise intensity, if it is more than 80 decibel, it will create some health hazard also. Like 80 decibel will create annoyance in a person behavior. A person is going to be physiologically disturbed, and up to 180 permanent hearing loss will cause in a person. So it is very much dangerous. And now comes to the next thing. This is about the control measure of noise pollution. Like how can we control this noise pollution? So first one is the source control, means controlling that noise pollution at their source, from where they are originating, or from where they are originating. So this is called as source control. So source controls include some source modification like acoustic treatment to the machine surface, design change, and limitation operational timing, etc. So we can change in the operational timing also, limiting the operational timing, design change, and machine surface. This we can change it at the source control. Next is the transmission of the path in intervention. This includes containing the source inside a sound insulating enclosure, construction and noise barrier, or provision of sound absorbing material along the path of that sound. So this will comes under the path in intervention. Like they can absorb sound at their path. At their we can use any material that can absorb sound into the path of the sound. And next one is the receptor control. This include protection of the receiver by altering the work schedule or provision of personal protection device such as earplug for operational noisy machines. This measure causes dissipation and deflection methods. And next one is the oiling method. Like paper oiling will reduce noise from the machines. So all these methods are the control of noise pollution at their source from where they are originating. And that source control is the first one is the source control that control that noise from where it is originating. Like from we can use some limiting we can done the limiting operational timing of a very high machine that will produce some sounds. We can change the design of that machine, maybe that will reduce the noise of that machine. Next one is we can use some sound absorbing material so that it will absorb the sound and it will absorb and it will reduce the intensity of sound. Next one is the receptor control. This include protection of receiver by altering the work schedule or provision of personal protective device like earplug we can use for operational noisy and machinery. This measure may include dissipation and deflection methods. Next one is you can use paper oiling method to reduce the noise from the machine. Those machines that are producing more noise, so oiling should be done for that machine. Maybe due to oiling, that sound will reduce. Like, and maybe you can reduce the time limit of that machine also, because reducing the time limit of the machine also will create some less noise, and that will be not much dangerous for the laborers working on under that machines. Next one is the at source level. It can be done by designing and fabricating silencing device in aircraft engine, automobile, industrial machine and home appliances. Like some we can design and fabricate some silencing device because aircraft engine is producing sound more than 110 decibel every time. So, and some industrial machines and some home appliances also producing more noise like that. And next one is by segregating the noisy machine, and we can segregate the noisy machine also. And during transmission, it can be achieved by adding insulation and soundproofing to doors around industrial machine and zoning urban area to maintain a separation between residential area and zones of excessive noise. So we can separate the the area from the zones of excessive noise. We can separate the residential area from those places that is producing more noise, sometimes the government is also doing like that. Always airport is outside the city, outside the outskirt of the city, because that will produce more sound and more sound, so that will be very noisy for all persons. And next one is the a separation zone will be created between the residential area and airport zone, or from any zone which is producing more noise. Next one is the vegetation cover. This is also an alternate method that will be control the noise also. So plants have the capacity to absorb and dissipate sound energy, and thus it can act as a buffer zone, and trees should be planted along the highway, schools and other places. So plant absorb the sound energy and it can act as a buffer zone, and trees should be planted along highways, schools and other places. So what this tree will do, tree will absorb the noise which is coming from the noisy place. So trees plantation should be done around the schools, hospitals and residential area. And the forest is very much important for us, because many of the function that is producing due to this forest, it will reduce and elevate of floods and landslide. It will provide a rest of place for the rest of relaxation and recreation also. So if you will plant a tree for reduction of noise pollution, some more benefit you will get, and these benefits are like, it will moderate the air temperature and underground temperature, and it will bring the winds also, and it will provide a place for relaxation and recreation activity also, reduction and elevation of floods and landslides, providing a place for education and research centers, because and most important function of plant is like, it is providing oxygen, absorbing carbon dioxide and absorbing dust and dirt. So these are the, and first one is the prevention of noise pollution. So if you are going to prevent the noise pollution by planting tree, you will get some more benefit, because tree is very much beneficial for the human society. Tree is producing some more factors that will be reduce the elevation of floods and landslide. It will providing a place for relaxation and recreational also, and it will be moderating the air temperature and underground temperature also, and the wind also, and it will create a better place for the research areas also. So these are the vegetation cover is a very important prevention method for the noise control. Next one is the the government has given law for the provision has been given in the law for this control of noise pollution. First provision government has given is the silence zone must be created near schools and hospital. So a zone is created in the vicinity of a school and hospital. That zone is called as silence zone, where you cannot produce sounds more than 80 decibel. Like that, indiscriminate use of loudspeaker at public place should be banned or restricted by law. According to our law for control of noise prevention and pollution, it has given the provision for the restriction of the use of loudspeaker at public places is banned and restricted, and restriction on the unnecessary use of horns and vehicle playing without silencer. Vehicles you cannot play without silencer, and unnecessary you cannot use horns and vehicles, and restriction on of aircraft flight at the midnight. So all these four factors are the control measures for noise pollution as per given by the law of Indian law. First one is the silence zone should be created in the vicinity of schools or hospital. Indiscriminate use of loudspeaker at public places, and next is the restriction on unnecessary use of horns and vehicles, and restriction of the aircraft flights at the midnight. So this is all about the law has been made by the government for the protection of noise pollution. So comes to the permissible ambient noise level that is given by government in the law of noise pollution, and that will be control measure for noise pollution. So in the industrial area, in the daytime up to 6 to 9 a.m. you can give the noise up to 75 decibel. For the same night time, 9 p.m. to 6 p.m. This will be 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. This will be give to 70 decibel of noise can be given in a industrial area. For the commercial area, 65 decibel of noise is allowed in the daytime, and in the night time up to 55 decibel of noise is allowed for the commercial area. Next one is the residential zone. Residential area, from residential area in the daytime 55 decibel of noise can be allowed, and in the night time 45 decibel of the noise can be allowed. Like that, in the silence zone means like hospitals and schools, that comes under the zone of silence zone, and from there only 50 decibel of sound is allowed in the daytime, and only 40 decibel of sound is allowed in the night time in the silence zone. And silence zone, all hospitals and schools is there. Now comes to the next thing. This is about the prevention measure of noise pollution. So what the government has given the provision for the prevention of noise pollution. So first one is the prescribing noise limit for the vehicles. For the vehicles, some noise limit should be given. Noise limit should be given so that it will reduce the vehicular traffic, and it will reduce the transport noise, because the main factor for noise pollution is the transport only. Vehicle and automobile is the only single factor for this noise pollution. And the ban on honking and uses of horns in certain areas, because some people will give more and more horn, and unnecessarily they will give horn. So in certain areas, like in silence zone, like areas like near to school, areas like near to hospital, some ban on the horn is there, and the uses of horn is there. And next one is the creation of silence zones near schools and hospitals. So this is some silence zones should be created nearby to the schools and hospitals, and they have given the provision of very less up to 50 decibel noise can be produced in nearby to the silence zone. And next point is the redesigning building to make them noise proof. Building should be redesigned that should be noise proof. And reduction of traffic density in residential area, and giving preference to mass public transport system. So these are the important factors for the control of noise pollution. Noise pollution should be controlled only by the reducing and reduction of the transport noise only, because transport noise and noise from automobiles and noise from industries is the main factor for this noise pollution. So some government has made some provision for the uses of noise, for the producing of noise in the vehicles, and some noise limit should be there for every vehicles. And there is a restriction and the ban on honkings and uses of horn in some places also, because if you'll go in the place of Sikkim and Gangtok is totally, they are not using horn. Horn is banned in any vehicle in the Sikkim Gangtok area. So this is very much a peaceful area, because that is a silent zone only. In any place you will go in the Sikkim Gangtok, you will find that no horn is there in any place. Like that, some silence zone is created near the schools and hospitals, and the government is now planning to design buildings like that building should be noise proof. Some glass should be used, and that glass is the noise proof glass, and with the use of vacuum should be created between the glass, and due to that vacuum space, noise will not come inside the building, and that will reduce the noise pollution inside the building. And reduction of traffic density in residential area. Residential area should be free from traffic, because residential area many people are living. People of some children are living, where infants are there, old age people are there, so that they more sound if affect these people too much. And reduction of traffic density in residential areas should be important. And we should give the preference to mass public transport system, because we should use public transport system, because use of this public transport system, air pollution will going to be reduced, noise pollution will reduce, and automobile pollution is very much dangerous for the human being and for the coming generation of India, because automobile will creating too much pollution. Due to this, it will causes air pollution, it will causes noise pollution. So that if we will start giving preference to the mass public transport system, this noise pollution and air pollution is going to be reduced, because use of some public transport will reduce the transport system. And if with the use of transport system, it will reduce the noise that is producing by the transport activity, that is produced by the vehicular activity. And this is all about the noise pollution. And noise pollution is very much dangerous for the human being, because it will cause anxiety, it will cause psychological behavior, it will cause hypertension, permanent hearing loss, it will damage kidney, liver and heart. All major organ will be damaged by this noise pollution. So noise pollution is very much dangerous, and it is an invisible danger that we cannot see where from we cannot see the noise, but it is very much affecting a human being. It will totally disturb the physiological and psychological behavior of a human being, and permanent hearing loss will be causes due to the, this is the given by the permissible noise level for the different area. Different area has been categorized like industrial area, commercial area, residential area and silent zone. And this is the given the noise level of, it is in the decibel. So we can relate this noise level for the with the prevention of noise pollution, like prescribing noise limit for vehicular traffic and bans on honking in certain areas, creation of silence zone near schools and hospitals, redesigning building to make them noise proof, reduction of traffic density in residential area, and sometimes giving preference to mass public transport also. And already we have discussed like this the permissible ambient noise level in different area. And all these area as like industrial area, commercial area and residential area and silence zone. And this is the prevention measures for noise pollution has been given by the government. And thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.